Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Daniel's Horror Review. This week I'll be doing the 2009 film Dark House, written and directed by Darren Scott, starring Megan O'Ree, Jeffrey Combs, and Diane Salinger, or some shit like that. First off, I want to give a brief reason as to why I watched this movie to begin with. So, I was looking through Jeffrey Combs' filmography. I saw this recent. His name was on the top billing. It had mixed reviews, some really terrible, some saying that it was really pretty good. I mean, if you didn't put a lot of thought into it, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? I'll take a guilty pleasure starring the great Jeffrey Combs as long as he has a decent role in it. So that's why I watched it. And with that being said, let me say that the only redeeming quality to this movie is Jeffrey Combs. Like, the rest of the movie blows. Pretty much this movie starts out with a little girl sitting outside of an orphanage, and they're all like, you won't go in, I bet you won't go in, blah, 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 blah. Then they hear a scream, little girl goes in, and a lady murdered all the children in the orphanage, and then boom, now we're in the present time. And Megan O'Ree is our main character, and she can't remember her time in the house, but she was a part of the vicious murder in this orphanage. So she's going to therapy and blah blah blah, and she's a terrible actress and blah blah blah, and so she's part of a acting class at her school. So they're doing her acting class and blah 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 whatever. Well, let me go back, take a step back. Her therapist told her that she needs to revisit the house to regain her memories, so she'll stop being suicidal and depressed all the time and blah 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 blah. And so Jeffrey Combs shows up in great Jeffrey Combs style, and he is he puts together amusement parks, like horror amusement parks, to frighten people, a la Jeffrey Rush and House on the Haunted Hill. So he wants these actors to come in and act for him as various characters in the house, because he's going to turn the old orphanage where all the children murdered into an amusement park. So she thinks, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to go, and I don't have to go by myself because I don't want to be frightened. I have people there with me to have my back, and blah 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 blah, more bullshit. So they all go, and the big thing about this house is the way Jeffrey Combs has it set up is he has these really super life holograms of like evil clowns and people torturing other people and mad scientists and this and that, and they're like super realistic looking holograms. So they all go to this house, and they're all set up in their roles, and they're all doing the thing. And then a couple people come in, a couple reporters come in to go through his haunted house and review it pretty much. And oh, guess what? They die, and the holograms come to life because of the evil spirit of the old lady that ran the orphanage that murdered all the children. And she's coming back for Megan O'Ree's shitty character. And so that's pretty much the gist of the movie. I don't know how else to describe it. You know, you got a group of people, I mean, group of teens, your dark, the other girl that's real emo and wears dark gothic style clothes. You got a nerdy guy that cracks nothing but jokes the whole time, doesn't really have any substance whatsoever. You have an intelligent black man that everybody makes fun of him for being an intelligent black man and not acting black. You have a jock who's into Megan O'Ree's character, but she's all so messed up that she can't have a real relationship. And then you got your pretty little blonde whore who once said jock, but so she hates Megan O'Ree's shitty character. And like, I don't even remember the names of any of the people in this movie. That's how bad it was. So pretty much, like, so the movie goes on, everybody's dying one at a time. The first 20 minutes they set it all up, it's all garbage filler. People start dying. There's some decent murders and whatnot, decent deaths that I enjoyed. Jeffrey Combs is just Jeffrey Combs. He does have a decent sized role in this movie. He is in it a good little bit, and he is excellent in it. I mean, he's always good though. I mean, if you're a fan of his, that's the only reason I would say rent this movie, is because he's in it and he has a decent sized role, as compared to some other movies that I've seen where his name's on the cover but he's in it for maybe 4 minutes, which they do that a lot now. He actually has a decent sized role, and he's funny, and he does what he does, and no one else in the movie can keep up with him. The rest of the acting is god awful, and that leads me to one of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. Was probably the last 20 minutes of this movie. when Diane Salinger or whatever, the lady plays the person that ran the orphanage that murdered all the little kids. Her spirit comes back, and her and Megan O'Ree is just in a yelling battle, and there's literally probably 10 minutes of fucking screaming, and it's so annoying, and she plays it so over the top. I mean, it's not even good over the top, it's stupid over the top. She tries way too fucking hard. She's terrible at it. The last 20 minutes of this movie, like, if there was anything decent at the beginning of the movie, the last 20 minutes shot it in the foot, and you just, like, it went downhill. I had to turn my TV down to, like, 2, because they just would not stop fucking screaming for, like, 10 minutes straight, and it was so damned annoying because it was so bad and it was so unnecessary and it was so terrible that it just made me cringe. I hated it. And then you lead to this little twists of a style ending they try to put on it. You know, we gotta have a twist nowadays. Everything has to have a fucking twist. And it's awful. It's so stupid. Does not make any sense. I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to spoil it, whatever, because you might go out and watch this movie. You might make the same terrible decision that I made, is to view this for an hour and a half. And just, please don't. Just don't. I'm actually sitting here thinking about ruining the movie for you, so you won't make the mistake of going and watching this movie. It's not entertaining. Well, okay, there's like 2 or 3 entertaining portions. Nice little head explosions, couple decent deaths. My other massive complaint, when you watch a movie like this, low grade, B-rated movie, you expect one thing. One thing. Some titties or something. There's none. There's no nudity in this movie. This is like the lowest of the low grade you can get when it comes to B movies. Well, not the lowest of the low grade, but this is a pretty low grade B movie. One that you would expect, with everything that's in it, to follow said, there's guidelines. You have to have nudity in this movie. Sir, Mr. Darren Scott, why? Why did you not put nudity in this movie? You had like 2 or 3 perfect people to do it with too. It would have been awesome. I mean, like, there was like 2 or 3 people. It would have added, you know, a 1/4 of a star back onto this baby if you just did that. If you just followed the damn formula. But yet you made this hunk of crap. This hunk of crap that I give one star out of 5, or 1 whatever the fuck. Or like, I can't even think right now. 1 out of 5. That's what you get. And it's a skip it. This is a skip it. This is a skip it times 3. Don't ever watch this. Don't do it. Just don't. This is like one of those movies that 1 out of 10 people are gonna like, and that one person will probably still admit that this movie sucked. They're just like, there's always those people out there that like really shitty movies, but they're the same people that'd be like, I like really shitty movies. I don't know why. I just like really shitty movies. And this is for those people. If you like really shitty movies, you'll like this movie. You watch this movie. 1 out of 10. The one of you out there that love shitty movies, you watch this movie. The rest of you stay away from it. Run away. Unless you want to see, unless you have an hour and a half of nothing to do and you want to see about 30 minutes of some good Jeffrey Combs, it's about the only redeeming quality of the whole movie, then go ahead. Other than that, fuck it, I'm done. Alright, see it.